Get ready, Hunter. The Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie is coming, so you don't miss any details. I've gathered everything you need to know before diving into the Infinity Castle. We've separated some facts that most fans can't even imagine. Everything from geek to geek. So get ready, because this will change your view of the movie. Oh, and at the end, there will be 2 spoilers, so be prepared. Let's get straight to the point.
Muzan never found Ubuyashiki. Many believe that Muzan's hunt for the leader of the Demon Slayers, Ubuyashiki, was a success for Muzan, but that information is wrong. When we see Nakime spread her eyes throughout the Hashira's training base, and Muzan follows the information she collects, because with the demons that share his blood, Muzan can collect information without having to question them. So we start to believe in that situation that Muzan found Ubuyashiki. However, everything that happened there was manipulated by Kagaya as a trap. You should know that the leader of the Demon Slayers is an extremely strategic man, and practically all the situations in the work were created by him. He brought the Kamaboko trio together, made Tanjiro face upper moons, and made Nezuko evolve to the sun. And Kibutsuji's attack was no different. Kagaya induced the king of the demons to appear there. He already knew he would die, and made it easier for Muzan to find his location. Ubuyashiki already knew he would die, and used his own life as bait to start the final battle right there in the mansion, turning his death into a masterstroke against Muzan. A brilliant manipulation that changed the course of the war. In fact, everything that happened there was a meticulously planned trap by Kagaya Ubuyashiki.
A detail that many don't notice in Demon Slayer is the secret relationship between the Demon Slayers and Tamayo. During the first season, at the Pillars meeting, Tanjiro ends up being taken away by the Kakushi to the Butterfly Mansion. But before that, he receives important information. Tanjiro hears from Ubuyashiki's mouth a reference to Miss Tamayo. And this reference, however small, gives away many things, mainly the fact that Tanjiro in Asakusa would end up meeting Miss Tamayo. At the same time, Ubuyashiki himself was trying to locate the demon to join forces with her against Muzan. Supposedly, the Ubuyashiki family always kept Tamayo's existence a secret among the leaders, an ally who was a demon, which could weigh in the decision to accept Nezuko into the organization, filling a crucial gap in the fight against Muzan.
Muzan is a really good villain. Many people end up hating him precisely for what makes him good. Muzan is not the classic villain with great goals of conquering territories, worlds, or recognition. The king of the demons himself is defined as a natural disaster, and he himself said that crossing his path and losing your life is just a matter of luck or bad luck, implying that what happens at the Kamado's house was not for great personal goals. Deep down, Muzan was empty of goals. What he sought was freedom, something that was taken from him since birth. Muzan wanted to walk the world freely under the sun and moon. He didn't really like creating demons or passing on his species. He just did it for convenience, looking for a demon who would overcome the sun and to increase his chances of finding the blue spider lily. This lack of stereotyped goals and his selfish motivation make him a unique antagonist, truly unique. To this day, I haven't seen a villain who looks like Michael Jackson.
An interesting detail that almost no one notices in Demon Slayer is the difference between Hashiras and normal Slayers. The first difference is that all the pillars have unique holidays, each representing their breath, while the common Slayers do not, but they have interesting alterations in their uniforms. However, this is not exclusive to the Hashiras, like Tanjiro, Kanao, Zenitsu, Genya, and Inosuke, and they all have their differences too. But there is another cool point that only the Hashiras have. When you look at the buttons of all the Slayers who are not Hashiras, including Tanjiro, they have silver buttons, while the Hashiras have gold buttons. And only one Slayer who was not a Hashira had gold buttons, Sabito, which may have been an UFO table Easter egg linking him to the fate of Gyu Tomioka, showing that Sabito had the potential to be a pillar if he hadn't died in the final selection. Had you noticed that?
You already know the Demon King Muzan lived for over 1,000 years searching for the flower called the blue spider lily, believing that it would finally make him immune to sunlight. But what many didn't realize is that Tanjiro Kamado knew the location of this mysterious flower. The blue lily, which was essential in Muzan's transformation, only bloomed in sunlight for a short period of time, and practically no one knew where to find it. No one but Tanjiro's family. In the Natagumo mountain arc, when our protagonist almost died against Rui, his life flashed before his eyes. But what you may have missed is what was not shown in the anime. Because in the manga, unlike the anime, his memories reveal that his mother frequently visited the place where the blue lily bloomed.
In the last episode of the season, when Muzan and Kagaya were talking, and Kagaya explained that he believed that human feelings were eternal, we see Muzan with several glowing balls, symbolizing the lives of those who died trying to defeat him. Still in that same episode, we have a special detail, a secret from the Taisho era. Tanjiro and Mitsuri hear Rengoku's voice motivating them to defeat Muzan. And this was the only final episode of Kimetsu that brought this kind of detail. Another important point happens in episode 7, when Muzan calmly arrives at the Ubuyashiki mansion very calmly. A mist appears around him, the result of the wisteria that were all over the castle, which end up making him burn. Now the spoilers will begin, so get ready. In episode 8, when the Slayers enter the Infinity Castle, some fall under a red light and others under a yellow light. This detail symbolizes who will die and who will survive. Red indicating those who will die, and yellow indicating those who will remain alive.
Why weren't Zenitsu and Inosuke afraid of the Infinity Castle? Remembering that there will still be spoilers here. In the last episode, when Muzan teleports the Slayers to his dimension, the Infinity Castle, everyone was terrified by the number of demons and upper moons. However, two Slayers showed no fear at all, Zenitsu and Inosuke. Starting with Zenitsu, he was like that even before entering the castle. This happened because he received the letter from his sparrow Chuntaro, telling him that his master had committed seppuku, after discovering that Kyagu, another student, had become a demon. This event consumed Zenitsu with hatred and focus, leaving him determined to avenge his master by defeating Kyagu, which caused him not to make a scene as usual. As for Inosuke, well, he's just crazy. He wasn't afraid simply because he is naturally impulsive, proud, and loves to fight against anyone, even considering himself the strongest Slayer. So he was excited as it represented more enemies to fight.
Now, a detail for those who stayed until the end. Do you know why Urokodaki and Uzui were not sent to the Infinity Castle in Demon Slayer? At the end of the 4th season of Kimetsu, all the Demon Slayers were transported to the Infinity Castle after being tracked down by Nakime. However, 2 former Slayers were not sent, Urokodaki and Uzui. But why not? Starting with Uzui, he did take part in the Hashira training along with all the other Slayers, but he was probably not tracked by Nakime. Since he was a ninja, he knew how to hide and avoid being located by anyone, so it's very possible that Nakime simply couldn't find him. As for Urokodaki, he did not participate in the Hashira training since his only mission was to protect Nezuko. Because he remained hidden all this time, Nakime wasn't able to locate him. And here's a spoiler, both Urokodaki and Uzui, along with Rengoku's father, who were left out of the Infinity Castle, were given the mission to protect Kagaya's daughters, who took his place, and of course to also protect Nezuko from any threat.
With this information, you are more than prepared to watch the epic movie Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle. Comment below which fact surprised you the most and what was missing. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content from your favorite animes. See you next time.